Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Time for BL, where we review movies, TV shows, and anything under the BL genre. So I am trying to get my TikTok live from last week, so November 24th, on episode 3 of Last Twilight uploaded, but I'm having issues extracting the audio. I don't know if it's because of the length of the live, because we were talking for a while. We had a whole question and answer segment at the end, all that stuff. So I don't know if that's why I'm having so many issues, but yeah, I'm having issues with that. So it looks like I'm just gonna have to do another, just talk about, thing, and I didn't want to do that because it's from last week. I watched that Last Twilight episode 3 last week. I remember some, I don't remember all of it, and I don't want to misrepresent anything, especially since Last Twilight episode 4 is fresher in my brain. But just in case I have issues with Last Twilight episode 4 TikTok live as well, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about both of them in this episode. So let's start with episode 3. In episode 3, Day's mom has returned home. Day and Night's mom has returned home, and she sees that Day is now eating downstairs. Day is way more sociable now, and this is surprising to her. Mock is serving food and asking, do you need help with anything? And Day's telling him, no, I can go get the ketchup myself. And is telling him exactly what he's eating, all that stuff. And she is now seeing this whole new side of Day that she hasn't seen in a year. Remember, in the first episode or second episode, it was Day only eats upstairs. Day does this. Day does that. It was very like that. So yeah, she's seeing this whole new side of Day since his accident. Now, one of the things that we get in this episode is that she is telling, she and Night are letting Day know he would need to go to the college in order to get an extension on his leave, and he doesn't want to go to the college. He has told no one in his life about losing his eyesight, so he storms back upstairs. He doesn't really want much to do with them in that moment, and then what ends up happening is he changes his mind. Mark comes to work for the day and sees that Day's on his bed in his uniform and is like, can you help me with my hair? We get a cute, not heterosexual stare moment while Mark is doing Day's hair. And at the college, Day is explaining to the professor what's going on and why he wants to drop out. And the professor lets him know that's not enough of a reason to drop out. Okay, you want to drop out until you have the surgery for your eyes. That could happen today. That could happen tomorrow. You never know when you're going to find a match for that. So let's just continue extending your leave. The question I had during this scene was, why aren't there things in place for students with visual impairments? Can he have an aide in class? Will the teachers allow him to record the lesson so that when he goes back home, he just records it? Does he get testing where it's him alone? Because we know he doesn't know Braille as yet. But would they do testing where he goes into a private room where he does an oral test with the professor or with whatever the test taker person for him would be, who would write down his answers for him? I just feel like there is so many options out there that are not being utilized. I remember in high school, there was a girl who was basically legally blind. And because of that, the teachers would have to, whenever they came to our classroom, make sure they have certain colored markers for the whiteboards. so that she could see. She always had a front seat. And she was like one of the few students who was allowed to get up during class and actually walk up to the board so that she can see what was written on the board. During testing, she had her glasses and a magnifying glass. You know, there's things set in place. One teacher used to make sure to give her her test paper with bolder font to make it easier for her to see. So there's things that can be done to assist Day. And my thing is, does this college just have nothing? You have nothing for people who are visually impaired? Like, which is possible. It is very possible that it's like that, but it's also just sucky and sad. But also, we know the only reason Day wants to not attend school is because he's embarrassed by his losing his eyesight, which again, not something he needs to be embarrassed about. But whatever. But he is out now. He is at college campus, and Mock is like, well, why don't you show me around? So Day takes him to the library because there's a book he wants to find called Last Twilight. They said the name of the show in the show in the show in the Senate. And Mock is helping him, and then eventually Day hears familiar voices and he's freaking out. So Mock stands in front to block him and lets him know, all right, they're gone. You're good now. Because he doesn't want to be, again, we know he doesn't want to be seen by his friends. He's not ready to face his friends. So the next thing we have is, because they can't find the book, and Mock goes and checks and finds out that the book is already loaned out to someone. Mock takes Day to a secondhand bookstore that he is familiar with that might have the book, but the owner lets him know that this book could be anywhere. Like, look at all these shelves. And also it's in an unfamiliar part of town for Mock. No, for Day, sorry, not for Mock. Mock knows where he's at. Day does not. But they go looking for the book, and then the cutest scene happens. Day finds the book. And then he slips it over to Mock's pile so that when Mock reaches and looks, Mock finds the book. No, sorry, I mixed it up again. Mock finds the book. Why did I mix up their names? Mock finds the book and then slips it over into Day's pile so Day can find the book, and is all excited that he found the book. But the last page has been torn out of the book, and someone wrote something in there, and but Day doesn't care that the last page is torn out of the book. He wants the book. He's like, I'm good with that. Also, we see that he can read very large, bold print. So again, he probably just needs magnifying glasses or you know, like there are things that could possibly help him that he's not doing and no one is doing. And I want to know why. We're seeing more and more how visually impaired he is, and he can see, but everything is just really cloudy and out of focus. So the next thing that happens, they go buy shirts, and Mock tries to trick Day into buying this bright pink shirt, and Day's like, I can see that it's a bright pink color, I'm not getting that. And Day finds a shirt he wants to try on, and it has on the shirt like a blind man with, was it a dog and a cane or something like that? And he lets Mock know that he already talked to the seller. The seller told him what image was on the shirt, and he is okay with that. So he decides to try on the shirt. We have like a little moment with his big old biddies hanging out. His big old man biddies. And he takes off his shirt. Muck helps him into that shirt. Then he's like, okay, yeah, I'll get it. Let me take this shirt off. And then as Muck is helping him back into his school shirt, he's like, I changed my mind. I want to wear the shirt out of here. So he takes his shirt off again. And I'm just like, you're messing with this man's soul. Because Muck is looking at him like, oh my God, Day, I just want to touch your chest. I need to touch it. I want to motorboat you. I may have been the one shouting that. So they have that whole moment. And Day tells Muck, Muck says he should buy a shirt as well, and Day says, I want to pick the shirt you buy, and he picks out the bright pink shirt for Muck, like as payback. So they're walking around, and Muck tells Day he's gonna get him something to drink because he finished his drink, probably a Oishi honey lemon, and leaves him at the edge of the street holding on to a sign and runs across to the market to get it. I hear people calling it a farmer's market. It's not a farmer's market. It's just a regular everyday market. So he runs to the market to get him something to drink and catches Kenga, who is his ex-girlfriend Poya's current fiance, cheating on her in the market in the broad daylight. So they get in a fight, okay? He is like, you cheating on my friend. How could you do this to her? She does not deserve this. Fist fight. Everybody screaming, kiss, kiss. Nobody shouting that. I'm cracking myself up. So, and I think the girl he was cheating with knew about the fiance because she was acting sus. But yeah, he realizes in the middle of the fight, oh my gosh, Day. So the owner of the store that they fought in front of is like, y'all destroyed some of our merchandise. What are we going to do about this? So Muck is like, here, this is all the money I have. Just take it, and runs off to find Day. Now, here's the thing that happened to Day. And this is also seems to be a trend with Muck. When he thinks about Day, he's like, oh my God, I have to get back to him now. And it's like he's distracted with something. He's like, oh no, I got distracted. I need to get back to Day. So this is what happened with Day. Someone was passing by, a worker, like pushing stuff, it looks like, passing by, and shouted at Day to get out of the way. Not rudely, just like, move, excuse me. And because of that, Day gets turned around and he can't find where he was supposed to be standing, waiting for Muck. He ends up in the middle of the road, cars coming. And luckily for him, some people were crossing the street. So one of them was like, hey, sir, you need help? And grabs him, gets him back across the street. And it was like, just stand right here. You're safe. And like walks off. So Day is like, wait, excuse me. I need help. I was like walking around like, hello, can someone help me? And like trying to reach out to get help from people. But people are kind of just like pushing past him because they're just like, what is this guy doing? Eventually he falls down. And when he falls down, some people take notice and like, oh, wait, no, that guy needs help. And they're like, sir, how can I help you? And everyone's talking at once and like overloading him. Because, he can't hear everyone clearly. During this time, Muck is searching for Day. Okay. So Muck is shouting, Day, Day. And then Day is like, I'm over here. And what ends up happening is Muck changed into the bright pink shirt because he knew Day would be able to see him. Motherfucking scream! Fuck! Okay, yes, I'm cursing in this one. But that was so fucking beautiful, okay? I was caught off guard with that. I cried. I bawled. I was a baby, okay? It was beautiful. And then in that moment, you see like Day, because we're seeing everything from Day's perspective where everything is hazy, but he can see that freaking bright ass neon colored pink shirt. Ooh, they're gonna sell that in the GMM TV shop. I can see it already. I know they have to sell that. If they don't sell that bright pink shirt, they are missing out on an opportunity. So anyway, after that, they go back home. And they end up getting home late. The mom is pissed at Muck. She's like, where have you been? Where did you take my son? And Day's like, oh no, we just went to this bookstore over in another town. That's why we're so late. Everything is all good. And the mom was like, no, everything is not all good. I'm not happy about this. You know what? I gave you a chance. I am done with you. And tells Mark she's about to fire him. And she goes, and if you don't, and she basically gives him a little threat, like, you and I know what you did. So if you don't want me to talk about that, you're gonna just go ahead and leave. Don't come back tomorrow. You work here no more. And Mark goes, so yeah, I was in jail for 6 months. I was in jail for 6 months. I was a parole for 6 months. Yeah, that's what I did. And Day is like, okay, who cares? The mom is like, what do you mean, who cares? It's like, him being to jail has nothing to do with him taking care of me. He's a great caretaker. I want him to continue being my caretaker. He's not fired. He's coming back tomorrow. And the mom is like trying to get help from Knight. And Knight is just like, Mom, he's the best caretaker we've had for him. Like, he got him to go outside. Like, he got him to go outside. He got him to go traveling, go exploring at bookshops. We keeping him. So Mark and Day, they go upstairs and they talk about the book a bit. And Mark tells Day, I hate that my phone does that. My phone like just jumped out of the app. So yeah, Mark and Day go upstairs and Mark tells Day, oh, there's something written in the book. It says good night, like someone wrote good night. And Day's like freaking out about that and wants to see the book and stuff. And then is telling Mark to just leave, like leave, leave. So Mark like leaves and Day's like staring closer at the book, like at the handwriting, and seems relieved. And so Mark says to Day, is it not who you thought it was? Like, what was it? And Day's like, wait, why are you still here? You're supposed to be gone. And Day's like, good night. And so Day finally leaves. Day finally leaves. Yeah, so that basically was the synopsis of episode 3 of Last Twilight. I'm going to take a quick break right now. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give y'all the synopsis of episode 4 and then talk about how I felt about both these episodes. And I'm sorry to do it in this format. It's just I can't get the audios to extract. And I don't need to be waiting any longer to giving y'all episodes, right? Right. All right. So see y'all on the other side. Also, the fact that I'm doing this on my phone means I'm actually going to probably have to switch to my laptop, which means quality of audio might change. I haven't decided yet because like doing it on the phone is just so messed up. But that's not what y'all here to hear. So yeah, let me prepare this so that I can give y'all the next episode, which is episode 4 of Last Twilight. All right, let's talk episode 4 of Last Twilight. So this one is fresher in my mind because it is from last night. Plus, I got to talk about it on Midnight Call till like almost 2 a.m. here where I am with Ceci, Jamie, Ronnie, Ali. Ceci, Jamie, Ronnie. Well, Ceci, Jaime. Why am I pronouncing that man's name wrong? Ceci, Jaime, Ronnie, me, Ali. Man, I was on for a bit, but man, I had to go. Don't blame him. So yeah, let's talk Last Twilight episode 4. This episode, my favorite episode so far. Okay, so here we go. So in Last Twilight episode 4, we have, of course, our two dudes. Okay, so Mog, of course, is over at Day's house, and he is making him breakfast, offers to make him coffee. The coffee is bad. And Day is like messing with Mog and talking about how, you don't have any tender bone in your body. You don't even know how to flirt, like all this stuff. And Day doesn't know. Mog does know. Mog pulls up right beside him with flowers, the jasmine flowers in water, because he knew that Day liked the jasmine flowers. Oh my God. I'm actually out of order, aren't I? We also had where they held hands because Mog's hands are so rough and dry, but Day's hands are soft. Oh my God. Non-heterosexual stares, non-heterosexual hand-holding. Anyway, so Day asked Mog why he took this job. So Day actually, what I love about this episode is a lot of introductions into each other's lives. Day takes Mog to the car to see the car that he's trying to pay off, his sister's car, Rung's car. And the guy who is holding it for him tells him, because the car got bird poop on it, all right, why don't you go ahead and drive it out, take it for to get cleaned. The car, the engine needs to turn on anyway and needs to drive out. We got to make sure it drives. So it's like, okay. So he takes before that, when he's introducing Day, he was like, this is my boss, Day. And Day goes, I'm more like a friend. Okay, so they go in the car and they drive around. There's this really cute part where Day wants to listen to music. They turn on the radio and it's love songs. And Mog is like uncomfortable because like it's talking about, the person that makes your heart flutter. Their hearts were fluttering. Both their hearts were fluttering. This is the episode where it really showed like, they are feeling each other. This is happening. So, Mog changes it, and Day's like, okay, you don't want to listen to that. Let's listen to something else then. So they put on the song "Bad Boy, Sad Boy" thing. So hearts were fluttering, and then also Mog takes Day to Poija's cafe. He's talking to Poija, of course, because she's getting ready to leave Kenga after he was cheating on her. And Poija reintroduces herself to Day and offers to get them some food. And one of the things we see here is Mog is like saying he'll have fried rice with anything, and Day said, "Oh, I'll have fried rice with anything too. I'm not very picky." And Poija is like, "But I thought you said he was a really picky eater." And Day's like, "I'm not a picky eater. What are you talking about?" So he goes to help Poija, I guess, put some boxes together because she has a large takeout order. And Poija goes back to talk to Day when she's pouring him water. And they're talking, and Day says, it must be hard for you. What was it? What did you say? Like to have your boyfriend always gone because he's someone else's caretaker or something like to that effect. And Poija is like, he's not my boyfriend. He's my ex-boyfriend. Like, yeah, we were together, but I'm over him. We are done. We are through. We've both moved on. And Day starts smiling. He is grinning all 32s. Is it 32? I hope I didn't mess that up. But yeah, you can see all them teeth, them white teeth. He using them white strips. He drinking Oishi honey lemon. Oishi honey lemon. So yes, he is so happy, and Poija notices that too. And she's like, "Oh, okay." So the two of them are heading out, and while they're heading out, this girl is like, "Oh my gosh, Day, why didn't you tell me you were back in town?" And Day is like, wait, G? He knows her. And he is trying to basically get away. It was sad. So she's getting upset because she's like, we're friends. Why are you treating me like this? What's wrong with you? So finally, for the first time ever, Day tells a friend from his past about what he's going through. So he lets her know that he's actually going blind. She is like, wow, why didn't you tell me? Like, she couldn't believe he didn't just let her know. And of course, she still treats him the same and lets him know that they're actually getting rid of some stuff at the badminton club. Do you want to come collect some stuff? Because they're making space. So he's like, yes, let's go to the badminton club, which is a huge deal. He's going back to somewhere from his old life. So they go to the badminton club, and a girl recognizes Day and is like, I'm a huge fan. Can I get a picture? And she is like, do you want me to tell her no? And Day's like, no. Let's take the picture. And Mark takes it for them, and Day is all happy. He and Day and Mark go to the room with all the trophies, and Day finds his trophy and takes a picture with it as well, but also there's another name on the trophy. So Muck is asking about it. It's like, oh, you played men's doubles, like, and asking about the other name on the trophy. But they don't really want to talk about the other name on the trophy. So we know something went down between him and August. We already suspect that he at least had a crush on August, or maybe there was something going on between them. But something went down with August. Maybe he never told August what happened to him. And then when they lost the match after being on the national team, there was like a huge falling out. I don't know. Or maybe he told August and August abandoned him. I don't think that's it, but maybe. There's so many theories we can throw around. But yeah, he and August had a big fall. That's all we know. So G also lets Day know that they're actually having a farewell party for the old coach, because the coach is moving back to his original province, I guess. Hometown, whatever it is. So he decides to go with them to the party. He's like, all right, yeah, I'll go to the party. Also, they go back to the house. Mark tells Day that he ordered food, but in reality, Mark cooked for him. And when Day tasted the food, Day's like, oh yeah, it tastes good. And then when Mark's like, yeah, so I cooked it. Oh man, this was horrible. This tastes disgusting. Who cooks this? Oh my God. Whose idea was this? Sue them. We need our money back. He was trying to hurt that man's feelings so bad, but it was too late because he already said, yeah, I like it. He don't mess up. So yeah. Day and Mark are in Day's room. Well, Day was already in the room. Mark joined him. Day's looking for a shirt to wear to the party. He wants to wear the shirt that G had bought him some time ago. So Day helps him find it in the sea of white shirts, and then Mark gets a phone call. And it's Poijai asking him to come to her. And he's like, I can't right now. Like, I'm busy. What's going on? So what Day overhears everything. And Day tells him, just go. I'm going to call G and ask her to pick me up. You go see what Poijai needs. So he leaves. And it turns out Poijai's boyfriend is throwing her things out of the house. So Mark rolls up, and then the best part. So she's like, you cheated on me, first of all. And also, I want my $20,000 back. And he's like, why would I give you that back? You gave it. Why would I give that back to you? You got to live here for free. She's like, for free? I paid the electricity bill and the water bill. And then... And Netflix. And he's like, well, you're the only one who watches Netflix. Sir. And then he is like, and then she's like, what are you going to say next? Like, that you cheating on me was my fault. He's like, well, it was, because look at you. You're still with your ex. She's like, I'm not cheating. I was never cheating on you. Like, he was trying to throw blame so bad, but he was such a bad guy. We all know he's the bad guy. So Mark pulls up on his little bike, and the two of them get into it. She separates them. She and Mark leave. and they get her stuff to Mock's house, and he moves her into his sister's old room, and tells her, just stay as long as you need to. And she's like, no, I'll just stay until I get my own place. He's like, letting her, there's no rush, you don't need to move. And then my girl says, lets him know, it's not just one person moving in, it's two people moving in. My girl is pregnant for the scumbag. She is pregnant for the scumbag. I'm going to repeat that for you. She is pregnant for the scumbagger. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. So she's pregnant for him. And she's like, it's my child too. So I want to take care of my child. It just sucks that I have to have a child with that man. And he is like, we'll figure things out. We'll work it out. And then he remembers Day is at that party. So at the party, Day shows up with G, and all the friends are just so excited to see him. And they're like, oh yeah, you're blind. We forgot. Like, she told us, but you really are blind. Like, wow, this is so cool. Well, not cool. This is so weird. This is so different. And they're making little jokes. My favorite one is, so how do you watch porn if you're blind? And Dave's answer was perfect, because I was like, he listens to it. And he said, I use my ears. I was like, no, my ears still work. And I was like, yes, that's the answer. But he's having fun. They're drinking. They're having a good time. Can you drink? You're blind. He's like, my liver still works. I'm good. So G helps Day to the bathroom. And this is where I was like, why didn't one of the guys help Day to the bathroom? But plot, I guess. G takes Day to the bathroom, leaves him to go in on his own. And he's like bumping into everyone. Okay, he's bumping into everyone because he can't see. He's legally blind. Y'all remember that vine? I'm going to be mentioning that vine a lot throughout this show. I can already foresee it. So she lets him go in the bathroom on his own. He's bumping into people. The guys are getting mad in there. And all of a sudden, a hand goes around Day, and Mock says, excuse my friend, he's drunk. Yo, so he helps Day to find a stall. So Day keys the bathroom. Brings Day back out. G is like, oh, Mock, you're here. And she gets him a chair. And of course, Day has to introduce Mock as his caretaker. Everyone's at the table like, oh, he's so handsome. He's so cute. And Mock is like, no, he's not. He's not handsome. Y'all start calling him handsome. Because earlier G was telling him how hot Mock is. And he's like, no, he's not. He is not hot. Stop telling that man he is hot. Don't tell that man nothing good about himself. He should not know. And Mock is like, I mean, I must be really attractive. Like, there's even people at another table staring at me. I must be so good looking. So Day is like, hey, y'all know Mock can sing, right? He's such a good singer. And Day's like, Day's like, he's such a good singer. And Mock is like, no, I'm not. So they all talk Mock into going up and singing. And then whoever the real singer is, or whatever autotune they did, I don't know what they did. But Day could sing in that moment. Not Day, Mock could sing in that moment. In that moment, he was a good singer. In that moment, he sang very well. They gotta stop gaslighting us into thinking that Jimmy can sing. Like, Dr. Jimmy doesn't need to sing. He just needs to be Dr. Jimmy. Okay? We're good. He's just Dr. Jimmy. Anyway, so Mock sings, and eventually he and Day, and it's a romantic song. Day is mesmerized by it. G is messing with him like, oh yeah, he's staring at you. Which was true. They leave and they're in a taxi, and Day lays on his shoulder. The room just got colder. And then When they get to the house, Muck is like, hey, can I just spend the night? It's late and I want to make sure you're okay because you're drunk. And he guides Day to the bed because Day is drunk. Tells Day, come on, let's get you in the shower. Day's like, I don't want to shower. So he changes his shirt and they lay down. So Day is in bed and Day, before they lay down, is like on his phone trying to look at pictures of Muck's face. Because they remember the whole episode, he's just being told how handsome Muck is. Muck is so handsome. So he's trying to look at a picture of Muck's face. And we see that earlier in the day when they took a picture together with everyone at the party, Muck had put his arm around Day's waist. And that, he was thinking about it. That spot was still hot. It was still hot. He was dreaming about that touch. He's dreaming about that touch. So Muck is sleeping on the floor. Day sleeping on the bed. And Day grabs his eye drops and climbs down onto the floor. And I was like, please don't fall. And he's like all touching Muck's body to get to Muck's face, feeling up his chest. He's to get to Muck's face and does the thing where he goes really close as possible to see Muck's face. Looks into Muck's face and then crawls back on the bed. And then after Day climbs back on the bed, Muck opens his eyes! He opens his eyes! I am so excited for next week's episode. This episode is my favorite episode because we can see we're getting there. They're falling. They have fallen. Love is in the air. It is happening, people. It is happening. And I am so excited for it. Whew. I think my favorite part of this episode was the jasmine flower scene, because it just goes to show how Muck really cares for Day. Like we always say, his love language is acts of service. Like he can't help it. And one of the theories we have is when the falling out is happening, it's going to be a thing where he has to choose between Porjai and Day. Like both people are going to need him and he's not going to know who to go to. So probably a situation like that. And also everybody's scared that there's going to be a time jump. And someone said that they think Porjai is going to leave this world. But her baby's going to stay. And Muck's going to be a daddy by default. Or maybe he'll just be Uncle Muck. Who knows? Also, we're suspecting a time jump at some point. A lot of stuff happening. So yeah, what are your predictions for the series? How are you enjoying the show so far? Last Twilight to me is just very beautiful, very wonderful. I can't get enough of it. I want more Last Twilight. Now. I cannot wait. I hope you're enjoying the show as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Time for BL. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, and good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. But seriously, hold on. When Muck held Day's hand, like the rough versus the smooth, and the way they both were just, that was not a heterosexual handhold. Next episode scares me because August is showing up, but we'll see. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.